Gein.
What about Ed Gein?
It's such a good show.
Is it? I don't know. I finished it last night with the wife, and it was an interesting show, that's for sure.
All right, yeah, me and my wife have to finish it. Oh, we're on. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, my guys, welcome to episode 2 of My Guys Magic Podcast. I'm Pete. Just want to share something else with you. Aside from our introductory episode, aside from managing an LGS, I also I love cheese and I train dogs. Um, so just want to reiterate what our podcast is about. Our format is broken up into 2 segments. One's a news segment where we talk about relevant metadata from the last week and upcoming tournaments and things of that nature. And second segment is more of a focus segment where we'll talk about our testing, sideboard guides, maybe mulliganing since that's a hot topic this week on the Magic Twitter. And with that, I'm here with my buddy Joe. Joe, oh, I've been playing Magic for about 14 years, and I'm here with Joe.
Hey, everybody. My name's Joe Dixon, father of 4. Been playing Magic for about 25 years, which is crazy to say. And again, if you want to learn a little bit more about us, feel free to listen to that first introductory episode. I think that we just kind of want to introduce a little bit more about ourselves so you get to know us a little bit more as we get through each episode. So, yeah, a little tidbits.
Yeah, we'll drop them here and there like Hansel and Gretel. Um, but with that, we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna pass it over to Joe. He's gonna jump right into the data for this week.
Yeah, so Eternal Weekend has come and gone. I hope everybody who attended that had a great time. Unfortunately, I didn't find any relevant, you know, standard or tournament, modern results from that event. I didn't look too closely either, but it wasn't on MTG Top 8, which is where I'm going to kind of find all of our relevant data for these kinds of things. But so again, just to touch on upcoming events, obviously the event on the horizon this weekend is the RC in Houston modern event. So good luck to everybody going to that. The following weekend, October 24th through the 26th, is SCG Baltimore. It's a Spotlight Series, and the event is standard.
Ooh, standard.
Yeah. And then the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then the next 3 events after that was Halloween weekend. 3 events: Laughing Dragon in Tacoma, and that there's going to be a bunch of different games going on that weekend if you're into the other card games or you want to play Commander. But the primary Magic event is a 20K modern event on Saturday and then a 5K on Sunday. The NRG is also that weekend in Elmhurst, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Team event,
You're going?
modern, standard, and sealed. Yep, I'm going. Me, Matt, and Bradley are going to slay, hopefully. Got to get some reps in with standard to make sure I'm ready for that.
Play Vivi.
Yeah, probably the smart thing to do. And then also that weekend is Spotlight Series Spider-Man in Liverpool, England, and the main event is standard. Well, yeah, also the NRG, the Sunday event is modern. In case you're interested in going, but you don't necessarily have a team together, you want to jam modern, you can do that on Sunday at the NRG. So, Eternal Weekend is come and gone. And like I said, unfortunately, I couldn't find any good info on that one. But there was a lot of data from MTG Top 8 that I took a look at. And so going forward for the audience, we're going to post our meta-analysis, which we just break down in Excel. And, we want you to be able to visually follow along with whatever we're talking about. And if you think you need that or you want to kind of quickly check it out, we're going to drop a link in the show notes to Dropbox, or maybe Google Drive will work better. Whatever you prefer. If you have any feedback or suggestions on that, just let us know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to just upload this spreadsheet to Dropbox and share that link with you all. So, with that little bit of information, I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into the meta-analysis from this last week. So for standard, we had 5 challenges and 1 showcase. So there were, 6 events, 394 total players across those 6 events. The showcase obviously was a big boost to the total number of players in the last week in standard. And so those 6 events were won by 2 red decks, 3 cauldron decks, and 1 Demir control deck. And if I'm not mistaken, how's the Demir control deck trying to win? So I think that was the, let me see, that was the challenge from
Yeah, they're
the
doing
10th
the
of October.
Doomsday Excruciator,
Okay.
Quantum Riddler.
Some lands, I'm assuming.
Yep,
I'm assuming
Restless
they've got
Reefs.
Restless Reef in there. Yeah. So pretty. We've been seeing this Demir control deck kind of pop up in the results
Yeah,
recently,
just
and
counters removal and
yeah,
land in a Doomsday Excruciator and hit you with a Reef.
yeah. So again, 50% of the winners were Cauldron. So um, it kind of looked like Cauldron had a little bit of a rebound this past week. Even a higher percentage of decks won with Cauldron, and there was, and then for our top 8 meta breakdown. So um, across those 6 events, we took all of the decks in top 8 and kind of compiled them and broke them down by percentage. And so there were 14 Cauldron decks, which is about 30% of the top 8 meta across those 48 decks. So 6 events, 8 decks in top 8 for each event. 14 of them were Vivi Cauldron. So 29, 30%. Red, 23%, 11 decks. Um, 7 decks were Demir mid, and then 2 decks each for 4 color control, Jeskai control, this new superior reanimator deck with the superior Spider Man, trying to reanimate. Um, what is that big 8 mana target that makes your opponent sacrifice everything?
Bringer of the Last Gift.
Yeah.
Standard Living In, they're calling it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And then 2 Simic aggro, 2 Vivi aggro, which is basically Vivi Cauldron without Cauldron. So it's, Vivi,
Vivi Prowess.
Yeah, Vivi Prowess. It's essentially playing Storm Chaser's Talent instead of Cauldron. There's and then one of Demir Control, Boros aggro, Golgari aggro, Omniscience combo, and Orzhov control, and then one green white Kona Yuna kind of mid range, which we saw in the results from last week. So a couple new things in the mix, right? Standard living in showing up, a little bit more representation and control. Um, no blue white control this week, but some new additions in Orzhov control, which I'm not sure I would call that control so much as more mid range.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then
Kind of like that Demir control list, though. You land an Excruciator and then cast Outrageous Robbery. Good game.
oh yeah, that's pretty good. How many outrageous robbery they
Just
playing,
one.
man? Yeah. Um. So I don't know. Obviously, red is still giving Cauldron a run for the money, but a huge decrease. So last week, um, I think the meta share for red and top 8 across the standard challenges was 38%.
Yeah.
So big drop, almost a you know
Yep. Good to see my
50%
boy
drop.
Vivi taking back the crown.
Yeah. Um, a little bit more control, which I don't know. I like to see. I haven't played any. I played a number of games against this 4 color control deck, and I guess it can contend with red just because of how many of the cards gain life in the deck.
The
Inevitable defeat.
Jeskai Black? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Inevitable defeat. Lightning Helix. And it's really just trying to kill your opponent with those cards, making them lose life, and then a Lightning Helix, and then maybe you hit them with one of the meringues, or um,
Yeah, I haven't had an issue
playing
against that
against it?
deck with VV.
No.
No, no.
Yeah.
Which don't have an issue with many decks playing VV.
Yeah, and I wonder what the rationale is then. If it is just the life gain that gives a boost against the red decks, and then it kind of beats everything else. I don't know. I don't have enough experience with that matchup to know. This Kona Yuna deck looks fun though. Just kind of sneaking in, Bahamut and Knights of the Round.
Yeah.
Um, so, moving on to modern. So modern, there were um, 6 challenges, no showcase challenges this week. But then I also included the data from 2 large European events. There was a Swiss Masters event and then a mega event in the United Kingdom. The UK event had 117 players, and then the Swiss Masters event had 145 players. So I feel like those are relevant pieces of data that are large enough to kind of show, what's going on in a particular weekly snapshot of the meta, and kind of overall how things are trending. So um, those 8 events were won by one Zoo deck, an Esper Blink, a Jeskai Blink, Affinity, a green Brood Scale deck, an Izzet Prowess, and then 2 Titan winners across those 8 events. So still kind of continuing to see Titan show up. And then again with those 8 decks, or I'm sorry, those 8 events, we broke down the top 8 and looked at kind of what how everything performed, what made up the most of those top 8 in those events. And Prowess had a huge share, uh, the largest share across those 8 events, 13%. And I want to say that there was one event in particular.
It was 4 of the top 8, I think.
Yeah, where was that at? Yeah, the challenge from October 9th, 89 players. Titan ended up winning, but there were 4 Izzet Prowess decks. So, and then the second most represented deck in top 8 across those 8 events was Brood Scale. And so there were 2 types of Brood Scale. One was kind of the more standard mono green Brood Scale, and then the other had some Yawgmoth in it. It was I don't know. I'm not really sure. They're still trying to do the walking ballista combo, and they still play Blade of the Blood Chief. But as you know, they're using kind of like some of the engine of Yawgmoth, and then Agatha Soul Cauldron. Because with Agatha Soul Cauldron, you can put ballista on a young wolf and kind of combo with that.
Yeah, I played against that one yesterday.
How'd that go?
Well, I
You,
won.
you whooped it,
Yeah.
and you were playing Esper.
Esper Blank.
Esper
Yeah.
Blank.
I had to answer game 3. I had to answer 2 Soul Cauldrons.
Okay.
It was
How,
it was close.
what are you bringing in to deal with?
3 Wrath of the Skies.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Plus the Witch Enchanter.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about this?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know if you have it on there, but the Mox was also this weekend, right?
oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it as a major event.
Yeah, and Broodscale won that.
Where was the Mox at?
It's not on there, I don't think.
Oh, well, sorry everybody. We can kind of talk about it. You want to pull up the results and talk about it?
Yeah.
You don't have it up yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the results. I just know what won. It was 4 Vexing Bauble and 4 Emrakul Main.
Oh, and this was a Brood Scale.
Brood
Oh,
Scale
so
won,
Brood
yeah.
Scale won the challenge.
Now remember,
Or the Mox.
The Mox is split between Vintage Cube and Modern, so it's not.
Yeah, so there's that element as well to try to peel apart. But I think that, right, we were kind of talking about brood scale maybe not being a sleeper. I mean, obviously it's been around, but I think just it's underrepresented based on its performance. And I
Yes.
think that this week, it's 11% of the top 8 across those 8 events. So that shows maybe that we kind of knew what was going to be happening. Looks like Boros Energy still showing up, right? 9% of the top 8 across those events. Esper Blink 9% of the top 8. Um, Esper Blink won one of the events. Which one? I think it actually won the Swiss event. No, Jeskai Blink won the Swiss event, which means Esper Blink won the challenge on October 12th. And then Titan, 8% of the top 8 were Titan decks. 8% were Zoo. Eldrazi Ramp still had good representation, followed closely by Tron. And then Blue White Energy, 3 decks in the top 8 across those events. And then Affinity, Gorios, Jeskai Ascendancy, Jeskai Blink all had 2 decks. So that Jeskai Ascendancy deck
It's
still kind of
popping
showing
up.
up. Still only one Belcher in the top 8 across all of these events.
Yeah,
One
that tracks though. With
from last week, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
also with its win percentage at the PT.
yeah, I guess I just people are kind of starting to pay attention to it. And I think so much of like your hate against other decks, like your hate for Titan also applies to Belcher. Your hate for Tron can apply to Belcher because of consign. You want to consign um, the Belcher, but do you find that people try to play around? Like, is consign that good against Belcher? I remember I remember having consign when I was playing Breach at the last Modern RC in North Carolina, right? And I brought in my consigns against Belcher, and I kind of quickly realized that they could just do the like word of invention thing, and I don't know, it didn't feel that great with like that in mind because they kind of had all these other ways to kind of put it into play without. I guess it's just word, right? Is the only other way. Um,
Yeah,
so,
was it that
but I
that
guess
7 mana to war for Belcher?
yeah, it's 7 mana for sure, but it plays around consign. Um, and
I
then
think Clarion Conqueror is better.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
pretty good against them.
yeah, and it's good against. It's just good against a lot of things, right? It's good against affinity, and also like some of the affinity artifact hate from that's for affinity is good against Belcher as well. Um, yeah, we're seeing a drop, so I'm just trying to pull up one of these Belcher lists and see. I'm gonna read Tameshi because I thought, yeah, so you can use Tameshi at sorcery speed. You can pay a white and X, return a land to your hand, draw a card, and return a Belcher from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like consign is fine, but they still have there's 2 ways that you can't tag Belcher with
Correct.
consign. So I'm not saying to don't not to bring it in. Obviously, there's plenty of
Right, if you don't have anything else to bring in.
triggers. Right, you might be able to hit like a Philagi or a Thundertrap Trainer or something like that. I don't know, just something to think about. Obviously, you can hit Lotus Bloom too, right? If you're trying to win Lotus Bloom and miss
Yep.
coming off of when Lotus Bloom is coming off of suspend, you can tag that too. I mean, that's not terrible. But
Yeah, I bring in White Orchid Phantoms,
right, just
Consigns,
a 2 mana Stoneworm
Conquerors,
creature.
and Mystical Disputes.
Yeah, yeah. Mike, I was talking with Mike again today quite a bit. So I drove to Miami today for work and back. So it's been a long day already. Miami is about 3 hours and change south of here. So drove down there for work and back today. So I'm pretty beat down. But yeah, man, gotta record this thing. So,
Yeah.
um, but Mike and I had plenty of time to talk about Belcher, and it, he's playing that at the RC, and he's obviously concerned, kind of based on how it went for him last night at our locals, right?
Yeah, it
Just
wasn't good.
no, yeah. Tron
I don't think he
got the
got a
better of
game
him.
against Aaron, and then I 2-0'd him also, right?
Yeah, and he was kind of talking about some of the mistakes that he made. Um, and I can't recall exactly what it was that he said he did that maybe he felt he could have tried to adjust, but he was like, yeah, I went home and changed the deck around and was trying to. He played jammed another league and trying to work some of that stuff out before he goes this weekend. We wish him the best, man. I hope he takes it down.
Yeah, good luck, Mike.
But yeah, I guess there's a lot of ways to fight through counter magic with the deck, but I think one of the things that he brought up to me that stands out in my mind is he was like, I was thinking about doing something crazy and putting two lands in the sideboard, and it's like because of cards like Beseiju and White Orchid Phantom. Um,
Yeah,
so
sometimes the one that's in there right now isn't enough.
yeah, you know I'm not sure like um, how risky that is to put that many lands in, because I mean if they don't tag both of your land, or if you don't get both of those out there, you could just combo off and then not kill them, right? So um, I don't know, something to think about. But so again, looks like, I don't know, not to toot our own horn, but kind of some of our projections from last week have persisted into this week, right? With you kind of talked about how, don't sleep on Is It Prowess, right?
Yeah.
Because last week Is It Prowess was down around what it had a few. It was 5% of the top eight across the challenges and main events from last week. And so this week it's obviously, you know, more than double that, right? 13%, so it really bounced back. But I think the biggest winner for this week is Brood Scale. Um, I think people probably looked at the win rates from the PT and were like, this deck is actually probably doing something. And I really think we probably should look at that. Like, look how much the share has changed, like for the top decks. I mean, other things that really haven't changed, right? Titan's still at the top. Boros Energy still, you know, broadly represented. Esper Blink still broadly represented. And then, those kind of other staples that we were talking about, like Gorios Affinity, this blue white energy deck, those are still kind of popping up. Looks like there's a little bit more representation from blue white energy compared to last week. I guess it dropped a little bit, but
Yeah. So,
one Merfolk deck popped up. Oh yeah, and then one Storm deck, right? Don't sleep on Storm.
oh no,
That's a
definitely.
deck.
Maybe mono red Belcher Storm
Yeah.
deck I played in a league yesterday.
Yeah, there was an Esper Control deck that snuck into the top eight of one of these events, and it was basically Psychic Frog, and then blue black interaction, counterspell, drown in the lock. But it was not playing the like reanimator package with eyeball. Always forget the actual name of the cards. What the heck is that card called? I cannot think of it to save my life right now.
Well, now I can't either. Thanks, Joe.
Sorry.
Oculus.
Oculus, yeah. Yeah, so I think just kind of continue to keep an eye on this information, and we're a week out from, not even a week, right? A handful of days out from the RC, and people are starting to finalize their lists, and maybe do more in-house testing, which could explain some of the shift here. Maybe people aren't trying to spoil tech. I don't know, it's hard to say, but I think not too much has changed from the past week to this one. Um, I would still have a solid game plan for Gorios, Belcher, Boros Energy, Blink Dex, Tron / Eldrazi Ramp, Affinity, and Titan. And then, keep an eye out for Blue White Control, Izzet Prowess, and Brood Scale. And I think the change from last week to this week, potentially spurred on by more people getting a closer look at the Pro Tour results, seeing that Brood Scale maybe is a deck worth considering. I mean, this isn't the first time it's had good results.
No, the Brood Scale deck also. That was the guy
It
who
just
won
won
the
the Mox,
Mox
right?
was a guy from Italy, friend of Mingucci's. So
Okay.
he played it this morning and he tweeted out about the deck, and I didn't realize the deck has 33 Modern Horizons 3 cards in it. So
Okay. Oh, so
can't, can't
that's a metric
yeah,
for
yeah, it can't be bad.
whether a deck is good or bad. What percentage of Modern Horizons cards are in this list? Yeah, quite a bit of truth to that. Yeah, I was listening to another podcast yesterday, and um, people were talking about Gorios and how difficult it can be to pilot, and how you're kind of this complex mid-range deck where you're trying to interact with people, but you also need to be cognizant of how they might interact with you because they can really blow you out in the right circumstances if you're trying to go for your combo where you're trying to put something into play with Gorios Vengeance. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I think that covers it for upcoming events and our meta talk. So again, take a look at our information. It's going to be posted in the show notes. Hopefully, you can follow along and maybe give us some tips on how to better present this. Or I'm pretty good with Excel and happy to do any additional analysis that someone might suggest. Um, but I'll keep looking at this. I don't quite have the uh, coding put together to try to do a win rate chart like Carson has, but I think this is
You'll get there.
maybe yeah. I don't think I'm gonna try, honestly. That's a lot of script that I'm not willing to write, to be quite honest. But I think that on one hand, Carson's information kind of provides like a more detailed look. I think
Absolutely.
I think that this provides kind of like a quick glance at how the meta is changing
Week to
week
week.
to week. Um, for whatever can be said about how Moto is shifting around. I think that there's just I think it rapidly changes because of Moto grinders, right? Like I think that they kind of see how things change and kind of share information with each other, and then that quickly you know modifies the meta and affects the results fairly quickly. But
Yeah, it moves a lot faster than paper.
yeah. So what do you think? Any special topics we want to talk about in the realm of Magic?
The special topics? No.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about what do you think about the Spotlight Series in Baltimore Standard? No, only 100 people signed up so far. It's less than 2 weeks away.
Well, if Orlando was any indicator of that, I want to say that there maybe was like 150 signed up for Orlando 2 weeks out.
And we got to almost 6, right? It was a little
No,
over
I
6.
want to say it was more than that. I think we almost got to 800.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they got plenty of time yet. And I think that red wasn't as known of a deck, which is pretty competent at competing Vivi. And so I think it has kind of shooken up the format a little bit. That said, I mean, obviously, I think we're mostly in agreement that Vivi Cauldron is the best deck, and that you just have to tweak your main deck a little bit to be ready for mono red,
Gotcha.
and then if you do that, you're probably doing fine.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of what's good against mono red is also decent against the mirror and like Demir. So it's fine. Obviously, a lot of what you're trying to do against red won't be good against these control decks, but you can kind of kill out of nowhere against control anyway. If like they tap out, you're liable to just like rides in, make a bunch of stuff like,
And kill you.
and yeah, if they don't have a sweeper, they're just dead. So um, yeah,
Yeah, please don't ban it.
yeah, I don't think I'll bet my money that
I never
they're
make it
definitely
through a
gonna ban
ban
it.
unscathed.
No, well that's been the cycle of Magic recently. A lot more
Yeah.
bans than usual.
Yeah, so our most recent RCQ, 4 people showed up.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, so our local game store, right? They have 20. We
Yeah, 20
The
plus.
one where I played Town and
Yeah.
you won playing Vivi Cauldron. Um, yeah, there was like 20 or 22 people,
Yeah.
and so I don't think the dominance of Vivi was as known yet. I think we all kind of knew it was good, and it was probably going to be
Yeah, it was the
a
first
consideration
RCQ of the season.
for bands, yeah,
Yeah.
in our local area. And sure enough, now, right, it's what, maybe been 2 months?
Yep.
And 4 people were showing up. Like, and yeah.
And at the other store too last week, right? It was 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 or 2 weeks ago, same thing.
And I'm seeing that all over Twitter. It's happening all across the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not happy with standard. We got, and we still almost have 28 days. 20, what they're gonna do the ban on the 10th. So
Yeah, and my boss is hesitant scheduling the RCQs for next season, right? He's asking me, you know, if I think it's the bands, or if I think it's Universes Beyond, or people just tired or standard. you
yeah,
know, who
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're as a store owner, right? If it was my store, if you're concerned about these constructed formats and the ban cycle, if you have a good limited base, which I think the store does, a lot of people coming out to draft. Obviously, they don't like pick two. They don't like Spider-Man. So you know, pick a sealed format that people will come and play. Uh, at this point, limited is way more popular in the general population when it comes to Magic in general. So I think that you could bring in a lot more people to play if you chose sealed. And so that was my recommendation to the other people. But the problem is they put it on the schedule so far ahead of time, and then my understanding is it's a little bit hard for them to say, hey, we actually want to change from standard to limited. I can't confirm that because I don't know what the process looks like,
right?
but I've kind of heard that before, especially if you can't change it like a week out because you have all these people who probably already planned to come.
Yeah, and to change it, the process is
Yeah, and then
not easy.
and then a bunch of people, within a week, you're risking having people show up
That happened
prepared.
at another store.
Yeah,
And now
prepared
those
to play
people won't
constructed.
travel to that store
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, they showed up to play constructed, and they're like, oh no, we changed it to limited,
And it wasn't posted anywhere. And
yeah, it's a problem. So I mean, it happens sometimes, but so I understand. Shop managers have to weigh that kind of decision making too. But all right, so I think that kind of concludes Magic news for the week. How we're kind of feeling about things recently, and I think our focus segment is just going to talk about this upcoming RC. We were talking about maybe getting one of our friends on here to talk about Titan, but I think it'll be better to have him on here after the fact and see how things go.
yeah, after he wins.
Yeah, especially as we right, maybe, and I think it's safe to say Titan is going to have a good performance.
Yeah, Titan's gonna win. Remember,
Yeah, that's the bet. Yeah.
We both said it last week. Now,
And I think either way, win, lose, or kind of have a reasonable performance. We know that Titan's sticking around, right? It's a good deck. Um, I played it last night at our locals. Ended up getting first. Lost a match, but still did pretty well. Lost a match to I kept a poor hand and got dusted because of that, which was completely my own fault. I don't know why I kept the hand I did. And then the other game I lost just
It's
because
probably because
actually
you don't know how to mulligan.
yeah, yeah, what two
But that'll be a whole
Ragavan
that'll be a whole
Ragavan
other episode.
Ragavan 2 lands. What was it? The hand Ragavan 2 lands, 2 season pyro,
A Goblin
got
of
it,
Warman and a Guide of Souls.
and a Guide Souls. Yeah, yeah, definitely throw that hand back. That hand's trash. What is this dude talking about? Let's bring him on the show and question him. See what he's thinking.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Craziness. Yeah, like if that's not a good hand, I don't know what is. Like
Yeah, and
if that dude's you know if
I
that dude's right, then I guess I want to be wrong. So
yeah, I suck at this game, and I'm keeping that hand.
don't say that. You're great, Pete. You're great.
Thanks.
Pete's a goat in training for sure. So let's talk about some of the testing that we've had. I guess last week after we recorded the podcast, we were able to play a few games, and we just played Affinity and Esper Blink. We didn't even really get to any sideboard games, which I think would be a big factor in that
Definitely
matchup.
beneficial in the training, in the testing.
Yeah, because our impression of like the pre-boarded games was Esper Blink doesn't have the clock to close out a game, and that's all Affinity is trying to do. I'm like making hasty Urza Saga tokens. Like slapping a lava spur boots on a giant, Kappa Cannoneer and getting in there. And it just seemed like it was very hard for you to build enough card advantage and interact at the same time to then get into the late game. And even if I kind of got to a point where I was empty handed, it seemed like all I had to do was draw one reasonable threat, which is a little bit challenging for the deck to do once it runs out of gas. But
Yeah, or just draw a Thought Monitor.
just like
Thoughtcast
grab a
and-
Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, hit a Bobble. And Urza Saga was
Yeah.
like completely fine as like a top deck, and I make one Urza Saga, and I have all these other like crappy artifacts in play that you haven't had to deal with. Like, make it hasty and kill you.
Yeah, post board is would be a whole different game.
So what do you bring in from the board and why?
So I would bring in 3 Wrath of the Skies
Seems good.
and 4 Consigns.
Yeah. And I think Affinity.
Consign mainly to counter the ward trigger.
Yeah. Counter ward trigger. But I mean, are there any other artifacts that? So you would bring in a consign? Was this dude? Oh, you bring in pest control too, right?
Well, I don't. This isn't my list. I wouldn't bring in. I don't have pest control on my list.
Oh, okay.
I just have 3 Wrath of the Skies.
I can lend you some pest control.
No, I own them.
Oh, okay.
They're just
Well,
not
you
on my
you
list.
wouldn't play it?
Oh, I might. You can talk me into it.
Yeah, I think pest control, like, it's good against Boros energy, blue white energy. It's good against Affinity. It's fine against Titan. Fine. I don't know if you want to bring it in. I guess you can cycle it, like if it looks bad.
Yeah,
But
I just like Wrath because of Urza Saga.
yeah, it kills the land too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, no, definitely Consign because turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer. I can't answer
You need
that.
the consign to deal with the war trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Or I'm dead before I have enough mana to.
Yeah, and I think Affinity is probably just going to bring in like Mystical Dispute and
They're already playing
Blood Moon.
Metallic Rebuke main, right? So,
Some decks are like I think it's Alex Friedrich. He did the best with Affinity at the PT, and he was not playing any Metallic Rebuke in the main.
Okay. Well, this one's on from the challenge from the 11th with 13th place list. 3 rebukes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I, you know, I think I think like there's plenty of cards that you can take out of the main. Like you don't really need Tormod's Crypt against them, right? Like that's not really doing anything for you. But and then there's a number of other cards that it's like fine to just take out. So
No, I think they leave in Tormod's Crypt, right?
are you playing so you're playing like Fabrizi's list more or less, right?
Yeah, well, last night I did the 61 card special.
Okay, and he's playing Frog, right? Or
Nope,
is he's not playing
no
Frog?
Frog.
Okay. Does that feel crazy that he's not playing Frog?
Not in that list, no.
And why? And I guess why? Why is it not crazy?
Well, because I saw they posted they were doing some testing with adding some Orcish Bowmaster, so I added an Orcish Bowmaster, and you already got 4 Felia, couple Emperor Bones, Orcish Bowmaster at 2.
Okay.
I don't want to. And Riddler
I gotta admit
for
that
2
kind of feels. Yeah, Riddler for 2. I get that, but you're really playing Riddler on
turn
3,
correct.
right? I mean, that's really when you want to be playing it. Man, craziest interaction last night. Got totally blown out by Felia. Um, so Scott Felia's my. So
Elish Norn.
I'm playing Titan. He was playing blue white.
Yep.
Energy with like solitudes and things like that. Riddlers, of course, and so I boarded in my Elishnorn, put it into, was able to like drew it, got it into play off of a rumble, and he blinks it with Felia and then consigns the return trigger. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa! Let's pull up the rules, dude. Are you sure? Like,
Yeah,
this,
Joe hadn't seen that
this,
interaction
this,
yet.
this totally foils any chance of me winning this. So, yeah. Um,
Yeah, love that interaction.
Yeah, consign doing silly things that you're not immediately familiar with. So,
So
yeah,
I'm probably gonna
some
run a
great
couple
stuff.
more leagues with this version. And then I have the cards for the Frog Subtlety Force Negation version as well. I want to test that one
Okay.
too. So
Yeah.
see which one I like better.
Okay, so you lost last night, so you Titan got you, right?
Yep,
And that was
I lost to myself.
oh yeah, you thought I was playing Samwise, so you
I
kept the hand with
kept an opener with
3 fatal push
3
against.
fatal push against Titan.
So you basically were dead out of the gate. You were
Yeah, we
dead
just
before that
started with a game
started.
1 loss.
Yeah. Did you get a game against me, or did I just have a nut? I think I.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, I think I had a nutso hand. The following turn or the following game.
Yeah.
Um. No.
No,
No.
I did get game 2.
Yeah, you're right. And then you might have got game 3 if you would have ticked up your Teferi and thought seize me in my draw.
Yeah, I
step.
made a horrible decision.
So tell them about that decision because I think that's like a good learning
So
point too.
where were we in the game?
We're at a point where I'm empty-handed. I put a bunch of lands into play. I have some.
No, you have a Besaju in hand.
You're right. I have a Besaju in hand. I have an amulet and a spelunking in play, and I have like 5 lands in play. I maybe have more. I think I have like 6 or 7 mana available on the battlefield.
Yeah, I've Wrath of the Sky.
Yeah, you Rathless.
Got rid of your amulet.
Oh, you did get rid of amulet.
Amulet, Spelunking.
Did you get rid? You hit
Yeah.
Spelunking too?
Yeah, because
Because I had a Dryad also, so you did it for 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so.
And
my,
your
my,
hand
my
is
hand
what?
is Ephemerate, Thoughtseize Teferi. So I play Teferi.
And he debates.
And I debate. I'm at 8 life. So instead of plussing and thought seizing on his draw step, I'm like, I need to draw into something to try and kill him. So I minused instead.
He minus and said, what'd you draw? Land?
Yeah. Drew land.
Drew land. And what do I rip off the top?
Titan.
Titan. And, you know, there were a couple draw steps where it was kind of back and forth.
Right.
Where you must have been sitting on your thought seize. I think I drew, I played a land, passed. So there was
Yeah, so I knew
like a
what was in
turn
his hand
cycle
for
of
like
back and forth.
for about three turns. I
Yeah,
knew what was in your hand, so I wasn't gonna cast it.
for sure. And so what I had, I think in the deck I still had 3 Green Sun Zeniths and at least one um, Summoner's Pact, and then any bounce land puts Teleria West, which was in play, back into my hand that I can go get the
Yeah.
last Summoner's Pact
So I
with to
think
turn
this.
into a Titan. So it's kind of, I had a lot of outs that I don't necessarily think you were wrong to do that because the deck is 50% land,
Yeah, but I think the smart play
and then there's a lot of
in
dead
the blind,
draws, right?
there's you have no pressure on the board. Is the plus
Yeah,
thought sees you and then minus on my next turn. So
yeah,
get accomplishes the same goal.
right.
I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I don't think it's wrong for sure. But interesting
Yeah.
thought consideration, right? Whether if it was truly right or wrong, because I literally could have seen taking either line.
And I got blinded by my life total at 8. Any higher than that, and I wouldn't even have hesitated.
Yeah,
I would have just
yeah,
said plus pass.
yeah. I think you were in a bad spot anyway because, like, realistically, I think what I was at like 17 or
Mm-hmm.
something. You would hit me like a couple times or something.
Yeah, hit you with a Bogart trawler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was at 17. So you, like, unless you roll off with like a Riddler or an Overlord of the Baelmerk where you really start like you can apply a decent amount of pressure and then still generate a lot of advantage with that card.
Right.
I think that
And that was my
you
thought
still
process behind drawing because I was
yeah,
like, I need to
yeah,
do something.
because like all I have to do, like I have, so short of you getting a threat like that, which I think you have a reasonable shot of drawing like a Baelmerk
Or a Riddler.
or a Riddler,
Yeah.
which I think puts away the game pretty quickly. But other than that, I'm probably going to get like 5 draws
Yeah.
to hit something, and I probably just win, right? So I don't know. Interesting thought. Anyway, what other kind of interesting modern interactions happened last night or when we were playing? Um, yeah, so my buddy Aaron came out who he showed up to play some limited RCQ because somebody was like, "Hey, we need one more. Come play limited." And Aaron is a limited mastermind, and of course won. And so he is got an invite to
Vegas.
Vegas. He's going to go to Vegas, and but he has like no cards. He was a level 2 judge in the area, and now he has no cards. And so I threw together Tron for him.
Yep.
And he's just like, "This deck is ridiculous." And I basically told him, I was like, "You either want to have 4 mana on 2 or 7 mana on 3.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything else, it's probably
You're
not
doing it
good
wrong.
enough." Yeah. And so, and he did pretty well with that as also. Um,
Yeah, didn't he 2-0 Belcher round 1?
yeah,
Yeah.
he did. He did 2-0 Belcher, and I think he beat Scott on Blue White Energy.
Yep.
And then, so yeah, there was, what, 6 of us? 2 Titan decks, a Belcher deck, a Tron deck, and you on Esper Blink.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you got to put Pest Control in there.
2 Blink decks, 2 Titans, Tron and Belcher.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you got to put Pest Control in there. I think that card's just too good.
Yeah, I picked up 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
Just in case. So.
Yeah, did they drop? I know they were super expensive
Like
at
$5.
one point. Oh, they were all the way down to 5. Remember, they were like $26.
Yeah, they were close to 30. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so those dropped. That's good.
If we can just get a Riddler to drop online, it's up to
Yeah.
150 ticks.
It's up to 150.
150.
And it was what, 144 last week?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb, dude. Any other interesting? One Merfolk deck made it into the top 8 of these last challenges. Merfolk's still out there lurking
Yeah.
in the waters.
That's what somebody overheard. Somebody said that modern right now is pretty much gambling. Anything can win.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Not
obviously,
not garbage.
at
but
any time, yeah. Any number of these
of
very
like
diverse
16
decks.
decks, right?
Yeah, so what? We have a little over a month before we have to
Yeah,
go to Vegas. So we it seems like you're kind of married to Esper Blink, right?
I am now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
like it.
so now we've got a new team member kind of coming into the fold. Mike is
Yep.
going to be playing, right? He's moved here recently, and um, he's going to be kind of helping us test, so that should be good. And he'll obviously have some firsthand experience going to the RC. Not that, it's just another day of magic, but
Right.
I think, he'll be at, on site
Might
getting reps, but
might have some insights.
yeah, I think
We'll
so.
find out after.
I think so. But I think that, again, going back to last week, right, we talked about the main decks. I think we have a plan to test those. I think we have most of them put together. I think the only deck that we're really missing from the top performers is like a Gorios deck.
Yeah, don't
Um,
sleep on that either.
yeah, and we definitely. But I mean, I think it I don't know. It doesn't play exactly like Esper Blink, but it doesn't have the like go over the top ability that Esper Blink does,
Right.
right? But it has some of the similar interaction patterns. Um, so I think there's something to probably look out there. The only other two decks that I really want to add to our gauntlet that we have built is I want to try Jeskai Ascendancy, just see
Yeah,
if
that.
that's good or bad, and then I want to try Brood Scale. Really want to like sleeve up that and see how that feels. So
Yeah, that sounds like a Joe deck.
what Brood Scale?
Brood scale.
Yeah,
But no, I really like this ascendancy list.
yeah, I think
4 Emery, 4 Tamio, 4 Cutter. Sign me up.
yeah. Okay, so you're sticking with Esper Blink.
Yeah, unless I test out this ascendancy list,
Yeah, and
then I
then what?
fall in love with it. Maybe we'll see.
And then what did I say from last week? Oh, I said Tron, Affinity, or Titan. And so I think I would. Um, I'm still holding strong with Titan or Affinity. If I can get the reps sufficient to play one of those, I think I would. So you know, I think I've narrowed it down to Affinity or Titan, and then you know, depending upon if one of these new shiny objects can catch my eye with
Right.
Jeskai Ascendancy or Brood Scale,
Well,
I'll
do
give them.
yourself a favor and read Dom's Bible
Yeah,
if you're gonna play
yeah,
Titan.
jeez. Yeah, did you see the wheels turn? Did you see my ears smoking last night,
Yes.
dude? Just like, wait a second, can I do this here?
Well, it was
Yeah.
before RC Charlotte. Remember, you handed me Titan. Never played the deck in my life, and I'm like, turn 3, just escape shift, this, that.
Yeah.
I was like, this deck is nuts, but I don't want to think that much.
Yeah, for sure. It's
So
I
I played
bas-
Breach instead.
well, I I think Breach is easier to play than Titan.
Oh, for sure.
Like a lot easier, right? I mean, there are some points of interaction that you have to consider with stuff in your graveyard, but Titan's definitely more challenging. Like, there's all these unique lands in your deck that can enable you to do all these like weird things, and whether or not you have like Echoing Deeps in your hand or like graveyard, or if it's in your library to like what you can search
Yeah,
and
Joe thought he was
the
Charlie from It's Always Sunny last night.
yeah, dude, it's 100% what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the like constructive criticism. I think Mason Clark was talking about one of the dudes that he coached and how he created a flow chart of like all the Titan lines, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I definitely need to do some reading on that one. So what do you think, Pete? Esper Blink for you?
Yeah, I think if I should just lock in on that and get as much reps with it as many reps with it as possible to have
Okay.
the best chance.
Yeah.
I can't do what I did in DC
Yeah.
and have all these reps with Rakdos Tree, and then the night before the RC, I switched to Mono Black Demons.
Yeah, don't do that.
I can't.
Don't do that. Yeah, and we can't be writing our sideboard guides like the night before.
Yeah,
We need to-
midnight.
yeah, we need to have them written days before. For
Absolutely.
Sure. Like, kind of got to commit. So, commit lesson.
Yes.
Even though I'm not there yet. I'm still like fiddling with these two decks. Um, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
and technically you can wait till after this weekend and see
for,
shakes out of that.
for
And
sure. For sure. So now this week we're a little bit more prepared. We have some social media stuff to share with you guys. Still building it out. Don't have everything yet, but you want to share with them or?
oh yeah, hit us up on Twitter or X at My Guys Magic Cast, and then on YouTube we are My Guys Magic Podcast.
Boom. So
The podcast should be up soon on YouTube.
yeah. So I'm also going to create a blue sky for us. I know a lot of people are using blue sky now, so we'll get that created.
What's that?
What's blue sky?
Yeah.
And then we've got I've got it on my to-do list to create a Facebook account for us also. Um, and then what's your Twitter handle if people want to reach out to you directly if they like the sound of your voice and
Oh yeah,
are drawn to
yeah.
you?
I'll give you my phone number too, and I can talk you to sleep. But PW999
And then
on
you
Twitter.
you can contact me at Joe underscore Mama underscore 77. Joe Mama 77.
Joe
So,
Mama.
all right, guys. It's good talking to you all and
Yeah, thanks for joining us again.
good games.
Good games.
Good games.
Nice. All right, see y'all next week, my guys.